Have you ever faced a player who raises nearly every hand, bets relentlessly, and keeps the entire table on edge? They're the loose-aggressive players, the most exciting, frustrating, and dangerous opponents in poker. Hi, I'm Terry Wood from PokerRailbird.com, and welcome to the second video in our Poker Player Styles of Play series. Today, we're diving into the chaotic and unpredictable world of loose-aggressive poker players, or lags, as they're often called. In this video, we'll explore what makes them tick, their strengths, their glaring weaknesses, and the strategies you can use to exploit them. But before we dive in, make sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss the rest of the series. Let's get started. The loose-aggressive player is one of the most polarizing styles you'll encounter at the poker table. They're the life of the game, driving action, creating chaos, and keeping everyone guessing. What exactly defines a loose-aggressive player? In simple terms, a loose-aggressive player enters a high percentage of hands, like almost everyone, and plays them with relentless aggression. We're talking about players who frequently bet, raise, and re-raise, regardless of their actual hand strength. This style is built on two core principles, looseness and aggression. Looseness means they're not afraid to play a wide range of hands, including weak or marginal ones. Aggression means they don't just limp into pots, they dominate them with bets, raises and re-raises, applying constant pressure on their opponents. The result? Lag players create larger pots, force tough decisions, and can easily tilt less experienced opponents. They thrive on chaos, but that same chaos often leads to their downfall when things don't go their way. This style is a double-edged sword. It can lead to massive wins when the cards cooperate, but it's also highly volatile and unsustainable for nearly every player that chooses to adopt the style. Understanding this balance is key to countering them or mastering the style yourself. In the next section, we'll break down the strengths and weaknesses of loose-aggressive players. Stick around, you'll want to hear this. Loose-aggressive players bring a unique energy to the game. Their relentless action and bold moves can make them a formidable force at the table. Let's break down their strengths and understand why their style can be so effective in the right situations. 1. They can win big quickly. No style has the potential to build chip stacks faster than a loose-aggressive. By playing a high volume of hands and applying constant pressure, they're able to take down massive pots when the cards cooperate. Their aggression not only wins pots outright, but it also ensures that when they hit a monster hand, they get paid off handsomely. 2. They create action. Loose-aggressive players thrive on action. By overplaying many hands, they entice opponents to call or raise more often. This creates dynamic, exciting games, and for the loose-aggressive, bigger opportunities to win when they connect. This constant aggression keeps everyone at the table engaged, leading to larger pots and more opportunities to capitalize on their fearless style. 3. They control the table. Loose-aggressive players dictate the pace of the game. Their fearless aggression puts other players on the defensive, often forcing mistakes or premature folds. This psychological edge allows them to seize control of the table, making it harder for opponents to execute their own strategies. 4. They keep opponents guessing. One of the most frustrating aspects of playing against a lag is their unpredictability. Because they'll raise with almost any two cards, it's tough to put them on a specific hand range. This keeps their opponents off balance, leading to overfolding or misjudging their true strength. By the time you figure out their range, they may have already stacked your chips. As you can see, loose-aggressive players have plenty of tools to keep the table on edge. But for every strength, there's a weakness. In the next section, we'll uncover the vulnerabilities of the lag style and how you can exploit them. For all their strengths, loose-aggressive players have glaring weaknesses that can be exploited with the right strategy. Their chaotic style comes with significant risks, making them vulnerable to disciplined and observant opponents. 1. Highly dependent on good cards. While loose-aggressive players thrive when the cards are running hot, their style falls apart during cold streaks. They rely heavily on connecting with the board to justify their relentless aggression. When the cards don't cooperate, their lack of patience and discipline leads to costly bluffs and poorly timed aggression. 2. Volatile and risky play. The lag's aggressive approach creates massive swings in their bankroll. While they can win big, they can also lose just as quickly and often more. This volatility takes a toll not only on their bankroll, but also on their emotional stability, leading to tilt and even more reckless decisions. 3. Predictable over time. At first glance, lag players seem unpredictable, but over time, their patterns become apparent. Their constant aggression and wide hand range make them easy to study and exploit. Skilled opponents will notice when a lag slows down, revealing their weaker or marginal hands. This predictability becomes their downfall. 4. Becoming the target. By owning the table, lag players also paint a target on their backs. Everyone at the table is paying attention to their every move, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Good players will trap them with premium hands, while others let the lag build pots and then capitalize on their mistakes. Even weak players quickly learn to play tighter and let the lag hang themselves. 5. Long-term losses are likely. Poker awards patience, discipline, and selective aggression, all qualities the loose aggressive player lacks. Unless they're playing in ideal games, the math and logic of poker will eventually catch up to them. While they may have a few great nights, their overall trajectory is one of consistent long-term losses. Recklessness simply isn't a sustainable strategy in poker. As you can see, the loose aggressive style may seem intimidating, but its weaknesses are significant. In the next section, we'll discuss how to identify these players early so you can start exploiting their vulnerabilities right away. Spotting a loose aggressive player quickly is critical because their chaotic and high-pressure style can disrupt the table and your strategy. These players often stand out due to their behavior, appearance, and betting patterns. The faster you identify them, the sooner you can adjust and exploit their tendencies. Behavioral and physical traits. 1. Loud and aggressive presence. Loose aggressive players often have a forceful personality. They may speak loudly, use aggressive or mocking language, and make exaggerated gestures to command attention. Some of these players even reach the point of being obnoxious. 2. Flamboyant appearance. Some loose aggressive players stand out with bold clothing, flashy jewelry, or unique mannerisms. They enjoy being the center of attention, both in their appearance and at the table. 3. Gender differences. While anyone can adopt a loose aggressive style, men are far more likely to play this way than women, who typically favor more controlled strategies. 4. Overly large buy-ins. Loose aggressive players often buy in for excessive amounts, when buy-ins are not capped, to signal dominance and put psychological pressure on their opponents. 5. Sloppy chip handling. Their bets may be thrown forcefully into the pot or handled in a disorganized manner. Additionally, their chip stacks are often messy or uneven, reflecting their lack of patience or focus on maintaining order. 6. Straddling nearly every hand. Loose aggressive players often straddle preflop in almost every hand. By doing so, they ensure they act last before the flop, creating larger pots and giving themselves more opportunities to apply pressure with frequent raises. Loose aggressive players thrive on being involved in most pots, raising or re-raising constantly. Their presence often dominates the table's flow and conversation. Loose aggressive players provoke a wide range of responses from opponents, including requests for seat changes. Opponents frequently request seat changes to move to the left of the loose aggressive player. This positional advantage allows them to see if the lag will raise or re-raise before they act, giving them better control over their own decisions. Exodus from the table. Conservative players may leave altogether to escape the volatility and pressure. Direct criticism. Some players may openly comment on their wild play, which can escalate tension at the table. Loose aggressive players can cause significant damage in a short time if not identified quickly. Their relentless aggression can force you into mistakes or put your stack at risk before you've had time to adjust. Recognizing them early allows you to implement counter strategies and protect your bankroll. Loose aggressive players are some of the most challenging opponents to face, but their reckless style also presents opportunities for profit if you know how to exploit their weaknesses. Success against them requires patience, discipline, and a deliberate strategy that turns their aggression against them. 1. Play a tighter range. Avoid playing marginal hands against a lag. Stick to premium hands that can withstand their relentless aggression. By tightening your range, you reduce the risk of being caught in difficult situations. 2. Use position to your advantage. Sitting to the left of a lag gives you a significant edge. Their frequent raises and re-raises allow you to make informed decisions. With a strong hand, you can re-raise to isolate them. With a weak hand, you can easily fold without risking chips unnecessarily. 3. Stay emotionally composed. Don't let their aggressive antics provoke you into making rash decisions. Lag players thrive on creating chaos and capitalizing on opponents' frustration. Maintain your focus and execute your strategy calmly. 4. Stay patient and let the recklessness run its course. Loose aggressive players often go on hot streaks, hitting improbable hands and building massive chip stacks in a short period of time. While this can be frustrating, it's important to remember that these streaks are temporary, but their reckless betting is not. Adopt a patience-first mindset. Tighten up and play even more selectively than you normally would. The loose aggressive's constant aggression means you don't need to force situations. Opportunities to capitalize on their mistakes will come naturally if you wait for the right hands. Their streak of luck with marginal hands like Queen 3 turning into a full house will inevitably end. But their overly aggressive style will persist, leaving them vulnerable once the variance normalizes. Trust in the long-term edge of your discipline strategy. If they remain at the table, their reckless betting will eventually lead to substantial losses, and with patience, you'll claim your share of their chips. Here are a few specific tactics to employ when playing the loose aggressive. 1. Avoid bluffing. Loose aggressive players rarely fold due to their wide range and aggression. Bluffing against them is usually a losing proposition, as they're likely to call or raise. 2. Don't steal blinds. Loose aggressive players often defend their blinds aggressively. Save your chips by avoiding unnecessary attempts to steal. 3. Avoid marginal value bets. Betting for thin value with medium-strength hands can backfire against a lag. Their aggression can quickly turn small pots into large ones, putting your stack at unnecessary risk. 4. Isolate them. Use raises and re-raises with your strong hands to isolate the lag. By forcing other players out of the pot, you can focus solely on exploiting their weaknesses. 5. Maximize value on later streets. When you have a strong hand, bet into, raise, or check-raise the lag on the turn and river. Their tendency to overplay hands makes it easier to extract maximum value. 6. Invite them to bluff. Loose aggressive players love to bet, even with weak holdings. Let them take the lead in pots where you have a strong hand and use their aggression to build the pot for you. When playing a loose aggressive, take the following steps to help in managing the risk. 1. Control the pot size. Avoid inflating pots with marginal hands. Let the lag dictate the action only when you have a strong hand. 2. Stay selectively aggressive. Match their aggression strategically. Avoid going toe-to-toe with marginal holdings, but don't hesitate to re-raise or push back when you're confident in your equity. 3. Plan your session. Playing against a loose aggressive requires mental stamina. Stay focused and avoid letting the stress of larger pots affect your decisions over time. Exploiting loose aggressive players is about turning their own style against them. By staying disciplined, using position, and maximizing value with strong hands, you can capitalize on their mistakes while minimizing your own risk. Loose aggressive players are some of the most polarizing opponents you'll face at the poker table. Their high-risk, high-reward style creates a dynamic environment that can be both exciting and daunting. To counter them effectively, you must be aware of the unique challenges they present and adopt strategies to overcome them. Let's take a look at the top 7 challenges of playing loose aggressive and potential solutions to each. Challenge. Loose aggressive players inflate the size of pots with their constant aggression, forcing you into higher stakes decisions more often than usual. This volatility increases both the risk and the emotional strain of each hand. Solution. Control the number of pots you enter by tightening your hand range and focusing on playing premium holdings. Avoid escalating the pot unnecessarily unless you're confident in your equity. Challenge. The relentless pressure applied by lag players can wear you down over time, leading to mistakes or impulsive decisions. Their frequent raises and re-raises demand constant evaluation of your hand strength relative to their wide range. Solution: stay disciplined and patient. Focus on your long-term strategy and avoid making emotional or hasty plays in response to their aggression. Take your time with each decision to ensure it aligns with your overall game plan. Challenge: loose aggressive players' wide range of hands makes it hard to narrow down their holdings. They'll raise with both strong and marginal hands, leaving you uncertain about their true strength. Solution: observe their behavior in moments of passivity. Pay attention to their betting patterns, position, and demeanor when they choose not to raise. Over time, you can identify patterns in their play that reveal their tendencies. Challenge: loose aggressive players are adept at creating chaos and using psychological tactics to disrupt your focus. Their aggression, combined with mocking language or flamboyant behavior, can provoke frustration or intimidation. Solution: stay emotionally composed and view their antics as part of the game. Use their aggression to your advantage by sticking to a disciplined strategy and letting their mistakes work in your favor. Challenge: loose aggressive players often hit improbable hands during hot streaks, running up huge chip stacks in a short amount of time. This can make them appear unbeatable, putting additional pressure on you to counter their momentum. Solution: recognize that their streaks are temporary. Maintain a patience-first mindset and focus on the long game. Their recklessness will eventually lead to losses, and your disciplined approach will position you to capitalize. Challenge: loose aggressive players often disrupt the natural flow of the game, creating an environment where other players may act more cautiously or emotionally. This shift in dynamics can make it harder to predict how the rest of the table will respond. Solution: adapt your strategy not only to the loose aggressive player, but also to how the other players react. If the table tightens up in response to the lag, you may find opportunities to steal pots from more passive opponents. Loose aggressive players are often talkative, even to the point of being obnoxious. They may comment on your play, mock other players, or make loud and aggressive remarks to disrupt your thought process. Their goal is to provoke emotional reactions or goad you into making poor decisions. Here are a few methods to neutralize their constant chatter. 1. Avoid engagement. Don't respond to their comments when you're in a hand. Instead, focus on the action and act as if you haven't heard them. Avoid eye contact and all forms of acknowledgement to minimize their influence. 2. Use headphones. Wearing headphones, even if they're not playing anything, can serve as a subtle yet effective way to disengage. The player may assume you're focused elsewhere, and it provides a non-confrontational way to avoid interaction without escalating tension. 3. Stay composed. Remember that their table talk is part of their strategy. By ignoring them, you maintain control over your emotions and decisions, denying them the satisfaction of disrupting your focus. Playing against loose, aggressive players requires a combination of discipline, patience, and adaptability. By recognizing the challenges they present and preparing for them, you can stay one step ahead. While their chaotic style may seem overwhelming, sticking to your strategy and maintaining emotional control will ensure that their recklessness works in your favor over the long run. The loose aggressive style is often seen as exciting and bold, but for the vast majority of players, it's a fast track to long-term losses. While you may have some great nights where everything clicks, the reality is that this approach is inherently risky, highly volatile, and unsustainable for most. If you choose this style, you must fully understand the consequences, recognize the risks, and accept the harsh truth. Poker rewards discipline and patience far more than reckless aggression. Accepting the consequences. 1. You will lose money over time. Most loose aggressive players are lifelong losers. Their impatience, lack of discipline, and excessive aggression lead to significant losses in the long run. While occasional winning sessions may reinforce the illusion of success, the math and logic of poker will catch up with them. 2. You will be exploited by better players. Experienced opponents quickly recognize and adapt to your style. They'll get position on you, tighten their range, and wait for strong hands to trap you. Over time, you'll find yourself consistently losing chips to the better players at the table. 3. You may become addicted to action. Many lag players are not just aggressive, they're addicted to the thrill of gambling. The excitement of big pots and constant action often outweighs rational decision making. For some, this addiction can lead to financial, emotional, and even personal ruin. 4. Your wins will be misleading. When you win, you may attribute it to skill rather than variance or luck. This false confidence can reinforce poor habits, leading to even bigger losses in the future. When you lose, it's easy to blame bad luck rather than reflecting on your mistakes. The harsh reality of the loose aggressive style. 1. You need great cards to win. The loose aggressive style depends on hitting strong hands. Without them, your relentless aggression and frequent bluffs will be exposed, leading to significant losses. 2. Your predictability is a death sentence. While you may appear unpredictable in individual hands, your overall strategy is highly rigid and predictable. The combination of looseness, aggression, and predictability is easy for good players to exploit. 3. You will lose control of the table. While you may temporarily own the table with your aggression, this control often has a boomerang effect. Once opponents adjust to your style, they'll allow you to build pots and hang yourself with overplayed hands. 4. The thrill of gambling clouds judgment. For many lag players, the excitement of constant action becomes their priority, overshadowing strategic concepts, bankroll management, and even their responsibilities. This reckless mindset leads to catastrophic results, both on and off the table. Self-reflection and adaptation. 1. Why do you play this way? Understanding your motivations is critical. Are you drawn to this style because it's exciting? Do you crave attention or the thrill of big pots? If your reasons are emotional rather than strategic, the consequences could be devastating. 2. Can you tighten up? Successful lag players are rare because they balance their aggression with discipline and adaptability. If you're unwilling or unable to tighten your range and refine your decision-making, the lag style is not sustainable. 3. Can you manage the risks? The swings of a loose aggressive style are massive. If you can't handle these financial and emotional ups and downs, you're better off adopting a more disciplined approach. The loose aggressive style may seem glamorous, but for most players, it's a losing strategy. The combination of impatience, recklessness, and predictability ensures that the majority of loose aggressive players bleed chips over time. While a few disciplined and skilled players can make this style work, they are the exception, not the rule. If you identify as a lag player, it's time to reflect on your motivations, recognize your weaknesses, and make the necessary changes to your game. Poker rewards patience, discipline, and thoughtful decision-making, qualities that even the boldest players must embrace to succeed. Loose aggressive players bring both excitement and challenges to the poker table. They can dominate games with their fearless aggression, but their weaknesses, like overplaying hands and predictability, create opportunities for disciplined opponents to profit. Whether you're looking to counter their style or refine your own loose aggressive approach, the key lies in patience, adaptability, and smart decision-making. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the Poker Railbird channel for more insights into poker strategy. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next video in our Poker Player Styles of Play series. And don't forget to test your knowledge with the quiz linked in the comments section below. It's a great way to solidify what you've learned and sharpen your game. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you at the tables.